Okay, let's see how I want it to look. So far, I think I'm going with, on the right hand side, we're gonna go with the, I think the DY Island, well, let's see, this here, the mountain bike shifter, it looks ugly with the gray here like that, showing, you know, on top regular. So what I'm gonna do is flip it upside down, pull it in, put it in place, and try to hide it right under the DY Island right handbrake. But first, I will put in the LCD for, well, hold on one second. Let's see. Let's see how it looks like this with the DY Island brake. First, the rear wheel shifter I will put in place, then the DY Island brake after that. And we'll see how that looks. Let's see if it will hide it somehow. There you go. I think that'll look a lot better. That shifter is ugly, so we can hide that right under the DY Island brake. And you won't be able to see it much. And I like that look very much. So now what I'm going to do is install the LCD4 display right after the brake. One second here. I have to stretch the wire a little so the display can go in. There you go. And now after the display, I will put in the Bafang throttle for the right side, which is here. And now we're gonna install the new hand grip for the right side. And it'll go in all the way first. I can move the shifter in a tad bit. That way I'm just going to position in place and then tighten it up later when I'm sitting on the bike and I see how it feels first. So let's see. Yeah, it has to go in a lot more than that. So both locking mechanisms can work on the handlebars. It has to go in a little bit farther in. So let's move everything a little bit farther in. That's good for that. We'll move in the brakes. DY Island brakes, move them in. We'll move in the display and in the Bafang throttle, and now there you go. I think that will look very nice, just like that. Hiding the bicycle shifter, the Shimano shifter, will hide that. And but you know what? I think I'm gonna switch now and put the take off the Bafang shift, the Bafang thumb throttle, take it off first, then the display, and I think I'm gonna put the brake on first, handbrake. So we'll move all this out of the way, and I think the handbrake will go on after the display. So we'll put the display back on first. Then the brakes. Then the Bafang throttle. Now we will install the MTB hand grips that we got in from Amazon. So I think that will be my best bet, because now I can have a better grip on the brakes, and the shifter will be hidden. This ugly gray Shimano shifter will be hidden out of the way. It'll still work, so that's good. And the display is here. I can move the display a little bit over and make it flat against the brakes here, so it could look real nice. And then I will position everything in place, and then lock both locking screws on the hand grips, and I think that will look a lot better right there on that side. So let's see how it looks on that side. Okay, so now we're gonna change the look on the left hand side of the handlebars. So far I'm loving the look on this side, on the right side of the handlebars, so that's what I'm trying to look for. And I put the shifter, the Shimano shifter, under everything, so it's hidden under everything. No gray big thing is here, you know, like an eyesore. It doesn't look like a shifter is there. It's hidden under the brakes. And then I have the display here and the Bafang throttle here with the new hand grips there, and it is looking beautiful. I took off the amyet display here, which will now house the battery voltage meter right on top of here, like it was in the middle, being held on by a zip tie for now, but that was just temporary. So now we're going to start on the left hand side, making it look like I want it to, and let's do that now. So what's gonna go on first is the I think I'm gonna put on the Bafang. No, the LCD4 display will go. Yes, the display will go on first. LCD4 display. Oh no, you guys fell. You guys fell on me. Hold on. Don't fall now. Stay still right there. Okay, now I'm gonna put on the LCD4 display first. Just push it in all the way just for now to see where it's gonna land. Now I'm going to install the DY Island brake. And what is nice about this is that now the display has somewhere to sit on, which is on the DY Island brake here, real nice and flat. Now I am going to install the Bafang throttle, which I have to unwind here first. Give it some slack here, making sure it's not in front of any wires that I need out, because I don't need any of these amyet wires now. I can pull those off. So Now the Bafang throttle will go on next, and then the other 50/50 hand grip will go on, which is very nice. Dual locking on both ends, which goes very nice with the bike. The 50/50 double Fs are right here. It says 50/50 on the hand grip here, and they're very, very sturdy. They have a plastic liner inside, which just slips on the 22 millimeter mountain bike grips, mountain bike handlebars. So let's put this grip on and let's see how it looks. And then I will tighten everything up. Make sure this is all the way in. Tap it in place. There you go. So now we'll face the 50/50 Fs forward. Boom. The Bafang throttle is there. Both brakes, both displays are here. And now let's see how it looks with the cowl up. And let's move the camera back and see how it's looking. Like that. Ooh, yeah. I like the way that looks. See, that looks a lot better than having all those amyet parts just hanging there. And now the bars look a lot better. The cockpit looks condensed. Let me show you now how the cockpit looks now. Let's pull this straight. The bike looks very nice now. And we will on the camera and show you guys how it's looking now. MTB bars here. The Bafang throttle, I still have to tighten everything up. Everything is still loose. So now we have both displays, both hand grips like I wanted, and both thumb throttles. And you can see here the Shimano shifter, I just flipped it upside down and put the black part showing this way. That way we don't have an ugly gray Shimano shifter right here, you know, blocking our nice red and black you know, color right there to match the bike. And I think that is gonna look very nice when I'm riding, and look better than sorry about that, look better than what I had before, which is the amyet parts that came on the bike. But I have a unboxing of these MTB bars on my channel. Please check that out. I did an unboxing of them, of those bars, way back when I had the Vivi bike. So I had put these on the Vivi, but they look way better on this bike. So now that's gonna go like that. I have to zip tie all these wires, pull off the old amyet parts like this. I might be using these parts, making it work with the headlight, because I have another controller, and then I'm going to use just the controller, the other controller. Well, we'll get into that in another video. That's working on the lights. The other video is going to be working on the headlights and the back rear tail light and the signal lights and the horns, making a lighting system that's separate from the bike with its own controller and its own battery. But that's later on. And that's going to power up all the lights, underglow, front signal lights, rear signal lights, and everything else. So that's going to look nice. And this is what I'm talking about here. This display, see how if I were to put it just like that, and then it'll sit right on top of the DY Island brakes, nice and flat. And That's gonna look very nice. 2 Bafang throttles, 2 displays, dual locking hand grips, the island brakes, and I have here the battery voltage meter that is gonna go where the display used to go, which is right here. I just have to make a little plastic holder for this display. That way it'll hold the display in place, and I can screw it on the amyet e-bike. So that's my plans. Keeping this voltage meter in the middle there until I get the phone holder, the phone mount holder that goes in the middle here. My phone will be here with the GPS and with you guys going live on the bike while I'm riding. We'll go live and we'll go explore where I live, and we're gonna find out what this bike can do. So don't worry, I'm just waiting on some nice days to come in, but so far the bike is looking beautiful. I am going to hide the wires. The controllers are going to stay there. You see how they look here. The controllers right under the seats, but they're going to stay there because the wind hits them real nice. So the controllers will stay there, but these wires here I have to cover up, and we'll play with that later. And then something that I don't like about this bike that amyet did, it was they mounted this big battery with the same rail that goes on a small battery. So look at what happens. And this is tightened up all the way with 3 screws that the amyet came with. So this is what happens when I'm riding. This is wiggling all over the place when I'm riding. You can hear it jiggle every time I hit a bump or something. It wiggles. And amyet, you got to do a better job of supporting those rails, putting a better bracket under the battery so it won't move like that, because yeah, we're going in rough terrains and all that with that. But anyway, I'll get that fixed myself. I don't need anything else, but it's looking very nice. You can see when I have everything nice and set and everything tightened up, I will cut you back on and we will end the install of these 50/50 lock-on grips, left hand and right hand. And you can see the dual throttle with the dual lock-on grips here, and the dual displays here. The island brakes, shifter is turned upside down, put in to hide it. That is looking very nice. Now we don't have an ugly Shimano shifter right there, just looking all ugly. And now we have on this side the right hand grips, beautiful. Left hand grips, beautiful. Left hand throttle, left hand display, left hand brake. So that's how it's going to look. And it's going to look very nice. And it matches with the front wheel. The red is very subtle on the bike. So slowly but surely we're going to transform this bike, and you will see. I'm not going to add any mirrors on the bike. What I'm going to do is get a dual camera system that has a screen, and it has 2 cameras, one for the front and one for the back, and it'll show on the screen. I don't have to turn around, it'll be just on a camera, and I'll see the screen on my cockpit here, cockpit area. The screen will be somewhere hidden in this area, so I won't have to turn around and see. I'll just have to look at the screen, and that's it. So But this is where the battery voltage meter will be, right here in the middle where the display was. The display was screwed on here, and now the battery voltage meter will be where the display was. So right there. So it's gonna look like that. Very nice. The bike is coming together like I want it to. So please stay tuned. I will cut you guys back on when everything is nice and tight. So YouTube, I cut you guys back on because this is how it looks so far with the MTB bars and the MTB dual locking grips. So I put everything where it's supposed to be. This is how it's going to look in the front. The Shimano shifter is flipped upside down. We don't have a big, bulky, ugly gray shifter. So now it's flipped upside down. The amyet parts are pulled off of it. And now this is how it's going to look while I'm riding it. So this is the shifter while I'm riding it. It's going to look like this. The, not the shifter, the handlebars and the cockpit area. So now it's all tidy, hooked up, tight. The Fank throttle here. Now the grips are very nice. I have a wider grip area. If I wanted to grip it widely, I can. And this is how it's going to look on this side. Have a nice stance here, and then the throttle, the display, the Shimano shifter is flipped upside down and it still works properly. The shifter is here and the button to shift it down is here. And then the, I'll show you, the voltage meter is in the middle like I said. So it's zip tied on, but it's fine. So the battery voltage meter is installed. We have the two displays, and I will turn on the other display. And it's on level 2. Voltage meter and the display, and this is how it will look when I'm riding the bike. So that's another thing checked off the list on the amyet e-bike. Thank you for watching. This is the install of the MTB dual locking hand grips from 50/50, and they are very nice. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.